I hear my mom talking on the phone, and she says, "He's been killed?" And I'm thinking, who's been killed? And I'm scared. And she says, "I'll see you when you get home." Whew. It wasn't my dad that was killed. My mom was talking to my dad. My dad worked at the Long Beach Naval Shipyard, Shop 64, in staging. When ships were in dry dock, they would be there to be repaired, and they'd be there for months. And my dad's job and crew was to set up staging so people, the other workers, could work on the ship. Sometimes there were accidents, and that particular day, one of my dad's crew members plunged to his death. This is tragic. When you work in this kind of work, it's always risky. But if you work up high, it's called flight pay. And every man back then wanted flight pay because that meant they would receive more money. My dad always took flight pay any chance he could get. Sometimes even side jobs on buildings in Los Angeles that were up high. He would do that kind of work so that, well, we could have extras. On this particular day, my mom looked so solemn. She says, "Kids, come over here. Your dad's going to be coming home, and I want you kids to be in front of the TV and leave your pops alone." We always had dinner every night at like 10 to 6. This time, my mom wanted to have dinner alone with my dad. He walked through the door, very solemn and sad. That was not like my dad. My dad was always a happy, optimistic person, but not tonight. One of his buddies, one of his coworkers, he had to call and tell his wife, "Your husband's not coming home. He had an accident and he got killed." And it was horrible. It was horrible. Now, this didn't happen very often, but it happened enough that I remember hearing it a couple of times. So, some months later, my dad comes home from work and he's in a pretty doggone good mood. And he says, "I have something to share with all of you." We gather around and we're like, "What, Dad? What's going on?" And he said, "Well, remember that fellow that was killed on our crew?" And we're like, "Yeah." He says, "Well, I came up and invented a device that this will never happen again. It was approved by the government. He received, or the government took and received a patent for it, and they use it to this day, and it keeps people working in staging from an accident, getting killed." This brings me to just a place where I want to share with you. My dad, he was one that was I can do kind of. He built boats and he built us toys and trailers and boats. He just loved working with his hands, but his first love was his family. He wasn't religious. He didn't express it, but he showed it in so many ways, sometimes working 6 and 7 days a week for months so that I could have dental and I could have piano lessons and we could all have all the extras because he loved us so much. And he took us on vacations and we spent time at the ocean sailing. He loved my mom so much. He loved us all so much that I feel now that they're gone, what a gift I received. So I'm sitting with my dad, and he's watching Shark Tank. It was something that we liked to watch together when he was like in his 90s. And he said, "Cindy, watch that. And then look around. Always be looking around and seeing, can I improve something? Can I invent something? Is there something needed here? And if there is, put your mind to work." He says, "Something can be great, it can be better. Something that's needed could be invented. It just takes regular folks like you and I to keep our eyes open." I haven't invented anything, but I do keep my eyes open. And I love Shark Tank. That was just an awesome show. Just because you see people that are using their creative minds to make something and sell something. This is what our country was built on. So I encourage each and every one of you, keep your eyes open. Mindfulness sounds spiritual, but it can be very practical. Your eyes are open like that, you can come up with great ideas. Also, I might add, this business of living on purpose. Living on purpose or intentionally, it doesn't have to mean, quote, spiritual. It can mean just knowing the way that you would like your life to flow and the elements in your days that you'd like to put there and be there. It's not like looking up at the stars. It's being grounded and deciding, today I'm going to do this or that. I want joy. I'm going to schedule comedy in my life. It can be as simple as putting aside time to play with your kids. Putting that time aside is living on purpose and intentionally. I challenge you, let's all do this more and more, being present in the moment and living on purpose. Why not? Let's show up for ourselves and show up for our own lives. Please like and subscribe. I could use some of those subscribes. I'm getting some hits, but I'm not getting subscribes. I don't want to grovel and I'm not going to cry, but hook me up. Thanks. Appreciate it.